I run a manufacturing business out of my basement with a fleet of FDM 3D printers. So when HeyGears sent me over one of their Reflex RS Turbo resin printers, it wasn't a question of, is it cool? It was a question of, can I make money with this thing? For those of you who are new here, my name is Chris and I run a business called Off the Bench where I've been documenting my business journey, trying to build a small business out of my basement, particularly with 3D printers. And currently I run a fleet of about 20 Bamboo FDM printers that I use for all of my contract manufacturing work, as well as doing all the Etsy sales that I design and make my own products for. Resin printing has always been something that I'm very interested in, but one of the problems is I've always thought it to be very fiddly, messy, and not really entirely sure if it could scale up or be practical in a manufacturing capacity. I had a customer reach out about a month ago needing a pretty small part that I had some questions whether or not FDM would be even a practical solution for that product to get the quality we want. With the fact that HeyGears sent me over a resin printer, I thought this would be a great opportunity not only to test out the machine and its capabilities, but also to see if it could be something that I would use in a manufacturing capacity, if I can complete this order with a quality that I'm happy with, and if it's something I'd like to include in my business as a product offering going forward. This is the part that actually needs to be made. Small and has some complex parts with these chamfers. While you may say, yeah, you can just lay that flat on the build plate for FDM, these parts here are actually a key and they need to be as smooth as possible. That's not technically doable with FDM as you'd get the layer lines going up. The second piece is durability is a problem, as FDM would have to be printed flat so you get the support of the layers going up on these small forks. But with resin, even in the vertical orientation, you can see it has quite a lot of strength, not to mention the resolution, and being able to throw this on a keychain for a maintenance worker is just all around a better solution. Now, I will admit I have had a little bit of experience with another resin printer in the past. It doesn't matter which one, but I had a pretty subpar experience. From the slicing software, and the ones that are available on the market generally want you to pay for features, to the whole process of the calibrations and trying just to get things to work. Coming from the Bamboo printers where literally everything is just figured out for you, you plop a model in, and as long as you know a little bit about what you're doing, you can get a good print. Resin printing has never been that way for me. So I was excited because I was able to try first Blueprint Studio. This is HeyGears' own software that interfaces with all of their product lines, not only the machine, the resin printer itself, but also their wash station and the curing, I call the microwave, but their cure station. It's all integrated, and when you build a file and slice everything, it automatically can send all of the jobs over with the correct wash times, the correct cure times, and more importantly, if you use one of the resins that HeyGears offers you, they're pre-calibrated and ready to go. So no more having to dial in calibration settings for your specific resin. Now, with that being said, so one of the really cool updates, which I know the community has asked a lot about, is actually getting access to use open material mode, allowing you to try out any resin you want and dial in some of those settings. I think that's a pretty cool opportunity, and I am excited to try some third-party resins that I have had laying around in my shop on the HeyGears printer. For me, in a business capacity looking for manufacturing runs, some of the most important things about the machines I pick are consistency, ease of use, and some fail-safes. Those fail-safes include ability to detect when a print is going wrong or failing, or in the case of resin printers, making sure that there's no debris in the vat, because I have had so many print failures from my past experience, even to the point of breaking my machine by accident because a piece of debris was in the vat of resin and I couldn't see it. Now let's talk about the slicing software in particular. So Blueprint Studio, again, made by HeyGears, is actually phenomenal. The thing I really don't enjoy doing is trying to figure out how to support objects. And for resin printing, it's almost an art form to get that correct. What's so cool is with Blueprint, it was probably the easiest experience I've ever had to dropping in a file, to orientating the part correctly, or even picking an orientation that I want, generating auto supports, not even having to think about it, and then sending it off to the printer. One of the benefits of using materials made by HeyGears are the resin bottles actually slot into the back of the tank. It's a lot cleaner than using just the bottle and filling it up. The other benefit is it kind of always keeps the tank topped off, so that way you don't have to worry about running out of resin halfway through a print. Once I got everything sent via the cloud over to my resin printer, it was as easy as going over and clicking start. From there, I just have to wait a few hours until the print is done. One of the first things I actually printed as a test before making this video was a file I found online from somebody else that I mounted to the actual build plate. So when taking out the build plate, I can hang it and then let the resin drip off so I don't have to scoop. I guess one of the things that I would like to see on this printer is a better, maybe sloped top surface on the build plate itself, so resin automatically just through gravity feeds off the sides. But this has been a pretty good solution, and I don't really foresee myself making objects too large that I can't use this tool on future production runs. Taking the parts off the build plate was no problem with the included scraper. I don't think there's much to say here, but it was as easy as any other print job or resin printer that I've used before. Honestly, I've had FDM parts stick just as hard, if not harder sometimes, to the point of needing to replace the build plate. Let's talk about the wash and cure station next. Now, the first thing I have to say is the fact that they're two separate units is just great. They should never be a combo unit. I don't like it when companies mix those two together because although it takes up less space, it's a lot more fiddly to use. And in this case, I think the wash station has some features that are super, super nice when handling things like isopropyl alcohol. First is the fact that you get two containers. Each one has a valve on the bottom with a filter and also has an opening on the top. This allows you to take an entire vat of isopropyl alcohol and set it on a different tub, and it drains all of the isopropyl alcohol with your parts in the vat into the bottom tank. So that way, after the wash is done and you open up that container, there's no more isopropyl alcohol except for the little bits that didn't get drained out. You don't have to be fishing through that with tongs or a long rubber glove to get your parts out of a nasty vat of chemicals you don't want to be touching. It just makes the job way cleaner and is a really smart solution. Now the wash station I think is a little quirky and cool at the same time because you put the vat on it and it like shakes around, kind of like one of those exercise machines from the 80s. But what's really cool is that instead of using a spinning device, some people have said, well, it's going to break my parts. Well, I have found that the resin is pretty durable and flexible as well, depending on what you use. So I would rather the parts kind of get jostled around in that vat and get mixed up way better with the isopropyl alcohol, because in previous work that I've done, I've had the little spinning blades inside the wash stations get all gummed up because supports break off and then jam it up, and then basically it doesn't even wash it correctly. Taking parts and moving them over into the cure station is also great. The fact that this thing is like basically a microwave, not only can it do heat, the entire inside of it is coated with a reflective surface, and the plate that your parts sit on is clear. You would think that would be an obvious choice, but you'd be surprised by the amount of companies that don't offer clear plates to put your parts on when curing. The fact that it does that allows UV light to go across the whole part at the same exact time, and now I don't have to guess on how long I need to cure it for. The material profiles from Blueprint Studio automatically send the job over, so it cures for the right amount of time with the right settings. The other cool thing about Blueprint Studio is that if you really don't want to fuss with anything, you can just drop an STL file in there, and they have a thing called one-click print, where it will not only orientate, layout, and auto-support the file, but then it will automatically send it to the correct printer, so you can go over there and press start. That, to me, makes this very worth it and potentially something that I'll be using a lot more, as I don't really have to think so much about it. I used to spend a lot of time in slicers just trying to get the parts correct, and now I can worry more about the production side rather than the software side. In addition to doing some of the practical, more functional parts on the resin printer, you also got to have a little bit of fun to test out the amount of detail that these things can create. I'm doing an FDM production run for a friend of mine who owns a business, and he needs 1,200 little corner protectors. I'm wrapping up that production run by the end of this weekend, and for fun, I'm going to be dropping a bust of my head that I used AI to generate inside the box. While he's probably not going to find it, I'm sure one of his employees will. So what was cool about this is one of my hobbies is kind of doing the Warhammer stuff. I particularly do one-page rules, so of course I'm going to be using my resin printer on its spare time to print off some of those models. And this was a good test to understand if I could print out large groups of little baddies or orcs or something, and I'll tell you what, the detail and resolution, quality and ease of use is all there. It's really what I'm looking for, as the hobby for me is playing the game, not so much doing all of the printing and painting. While painting and those other things are fun, I enjoy rolling the dice the most, and this gets me to that point at the table much quicker. So what's my verdict on resin printing versus FDM, and is this something I would actually use in my business moving forward? And the answer is absolutely. Now, will I transition to being a resin-focused shop? Definitely not. I could foresee myself having a couple of these on hand to do small production runs or assist in more complex print jobs in the future. It's really cool to have the technology, and if anybody does need some really, really high detail resin prototypes or small production runs, hit me up. I've got the technology, and my email's down below. Just want to say again, thanks for HeyGears for partnering with me to send over the resin printer. We did not exchange any cash. They're just letting me keep the machine for an honest review, and I like it. I like the machine a lot. I think it does take somebody who's really invested in a hobby. So I know a lot of hobbyists who use these machines are using it for Warhammer and those types of miniature gaming parts. If you and a buddy teamed up to go in on one of these machines, it would be well worth the cost, knowing how much money you spend on miniatures to begin with. You're going to get your value out of it and really enjoy the machine. For those of us in business, this I think is also a practical solution. If you want something that's going to have consistency, accuracy, that's dimensional, and ability to trust a machine to do its job so you can do yours, this I think meets all of those marks at a fair price point. Resin printing inherently is a bit more fiddly, messy, and just more complex, but that also means that you can charge more per hour for the work that you do. So as you think about if this is something that'd be right for your shop or your business, if you're just getting started, I would maybe start with FDM, but if you're looking to expand, HeyGears RS Turbo is a great direction to go.